taboo in our society.
We don't want to
Talk about it.
White folks fear their unspoken views will be deemed racist. People of color are filled with sorrow and rage at unrighted wrongs.
Drowning in silence, we are brothers and sisters drowning
Each other.
Once we decide to transform ourselves from fearful caterpillars into
courageous butterflies, we will be able to bridge our racist gulf and
Move forward together towards a bright and
colorful future.
considered other than the land that we originated from. We do not inherit the land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children.
Aren't we on the American continent? Have we been considerate of our fellow neighbors in the Americas? Sisters and brothers, Mexicans, South and Central Americans, the ones furthest in the north, whom we refer to as Canadians and Alaskans, and the ones in the east coasting in the Caribbean islands. See, if you truly want to help, if you want to help really, provide equality for everyone, truly, without discrimination. Begin to dismantle white supremacy entirely.
To be free is just a figure of speech. Free to love, free to be me. A distant thought of the radical imagination. Look honestly at where we are now. Was it intentional? Polluted waste, polluted water, Michigan water crisis, polluted air. Disconnected from nature and the Orishas at the hands of white supremacy. I am not free if you continue to look at me as black, angry, and unloved. Ashamed of my kinky hair, my single mother or incarcerated father. How? What loud my voice echoes with the confident stride? I will never be free. Because to be free means to live with equity, or in the words of MLK, with justice and equality.
I am a white woman. You can see me, you can hear me.
We have caused harm to indigenous people,
Black people and people of color.
Whiteness was invented to oppress non-white people. I have benefited from this whiteness.
My whiteness keeps me from my wholeness.
It creates colorism across the planet. White supremacy is a racist ideology, the dominant paradigm that permeates our social institutions.
Our personal lives are steeped in it.
We were born into it. White superiority and white exceptionalism say white means better, more worthy, more deserving.
White fragility shows up when white people get angry, defensive, afraid, and check out of conversations about inequity and racial prejudice. As white people, this is what we must change in ourselves.
Whiteness causes exclusion.
Systematic neglect of
The
people.
2020 offers us creating space for all voices.
Willing to sit in the discomfort of this white privilege
And begin the journey to wholeness.
Please hold your hands as a reminder of that fact.
Jim Crow was not just an error, and colorism is not and was not just an error.
You taught my sisters to hate me.
And my brothers to disown me. I am told if I do not like the mistreatment, I am free to leave. But
Where is it I'm supposed to go? You burned all my maps home. I am the middle. I'm light enough that you do not care. Especially lacking tight kinks in my hair. It almost seems as if I am not here. As if I were like other model races, whom are only deemed useful when providing prosperity to the white man's hand.
As children, they were my aunts and uncles. Their rights were stripped away, their voices were silenced, and they were made invisible. Fear of other perceives foreigners and strangers out of ignorance. And now history is repeating itself. But we know that all lives are sacred, across borders, beyond walls, within detention cells, and behind bars. I have begun a practice of dismantling lies and of restoration.
In 1992, I was given a message passed on by the elders of Mexico. There were originally 7 tribes living in the 4 corners of North America, in the Southwest, where 4 states border each other, also known as the birthplace of the Aztecs. One day the gods asked the tribes to leave their ancestral lands and to go forth and populate all of the Americas. In return for leaving their homeland, they were promised that one day they would come a time when they would return home. And they would know when that time had come to be, due to hunger for sanctuary, because they dream of a better life. And yes, this all makes sense. I was also told that the true reason why, no matter the obstacles, the legislation, the oppression faced, they keep crossing the border because the promised time is now. Something inside us has woken and knows that it's time to return home. Our ancestral legacy has no borders. We are returning to our homeland. It is what we were promised and how it was always meant to be.